sir, have you ever heard of public school?
The individuals for the school.
Have you ever heard of public school?
If they don't mind having you on school property, then it's not a problem.
I have a child here. Okay. What are they going to do? I'd love for you to kick me off this so I could sue you. No, hold on. He detained me. I need to know what for my record. I need to know why I was detained. Come on, buddy. You just said I was breaking the law on public property. You're going to get educated for free.
Alrighty folks, this video comes from Georgetown, Texas, where a man named RC is confronted by Officer Reymundo Rodriguez of the Georgetown Police Department. RC was holding a sign that read, "Say no to bullying," while picking up his child from a public school. Officer Rodriguez approaches and demands identification, claiming RC is trespassing, despite RC being on taxpayer-funded school grounds.
If you making contact with the subject on school property, stand by. How you doing, sir? I'm Officer Rodriguez with the Georgetown Police Department. May I see your identification? I believe you're on school property, and I don't believe you're allowed to be on school property.
School property is private property, is public property paid for by the taxpayers. I have every right to be on here. Here's what before you lose your qualified immunity, I think you should reach out to Lieutenant Worsham. Tell him, Lieutenant Worsham, Rector. I have his email.
Okay.
This is 100% public property. I have every right to be here. You're going to lose your qualified immunity, and I'm going to sue you if you try to move me off public property. And Texas is not an ID state. You have no right to ask me for an ID unless I've committed a crime.
Okay. So let's start over. So based on the information I have, no protesters are allowed on school property. School property is not public property. School property is owned by the school district.
Which is paid for by taxpayers' dollars.
Number two.
You've got to Google public property.
Number two. The reason I'm asking you for identification is because based on that assumption, with that information that I have at hand, you're committing the criminal act of criminal trespassing.
No, I have
Once you commit a criminal act or a suspicion of a criminal act, the failure to ID or a law applies until requesting your ID.
That's a secondary charge.
So
secondary charge.
The primary
3802.
The primary
what does 3802 say?
The primary charge is criminal trespassing.
What is 3802?
And before I can continue my investigation of criminal trespassing,
I'm not talking to you
your
anymore.
Identification.
No.
May I ask for your identification, sir? Because you're
you
on
can
school
ask.
property.
I'm not going to give it to you.
That's fine, sir. No problem. Yeah, you want to give me your name or anything like that?
I'm not going to give you anything. I don't even have to talk to you.
Okay.
Here's what's going to happen. I guarantee you, by the time I get home, this is going to be uploaded to your chief, and you're going to learn about 3802. Okay. You're going to learn about losing your
3802.
3802
for failure to ID. I'm here for criminal trespassing and criminal trespassing.
I have to be warned. Okay. I have to be warned first. Before, yeah. Okay. So here's the thing.
So the information is incorrect that none of the trespassers were warned to stay over there for the rest of your colleagues on public property, which is a sidewalk.
What penal code?
Which is a sidewalk over there. But you said warned.
What penal code?
And so have you been warned before?
What penal code?
Have you been warned before?
Give me a statute.
You stated that you needed to be warned before.
How many complaints with the IA do you have?
Then why do we do that?
How many complaints with IA do you have?
Then I'm going to politely ask you to step off.
And I'm going to deny because of the way you came up. Because of the way you came up.
And go over there with the rest of your colleagues. City properties anywhere from the sidewalk and the easement onto the street, public street.
Who funds school districts?
Not a problem, sir.
Who funds school districts? Call you lieutenant before you get a big lawsuit.
No problem. Go ahead and stay here. As of right now, you're being detained for criminal trespassing and failure to ID. Okay?
Okay, then I refuse to talk.
At this point, it's clear Officer Rodriguez is trying to stretch his authority. He makes unverified claims about trespassing without a prior warning, something Texas law typically requires before criminal charges stick. The officer also demands ID under threat of detention, even though RC repeatedly states he hasn't been lawfully warned or committed a crime. On top of that, there's a subtle but familiar pattern, police using disrespectful tones and assumptions, especially when someone asserts their rights confidently. It's a tactic that shifts the focus from accountability to control. And let's be honest, the moment an officer starts arguing over whether a public school is private, we're already off track. Under Texas Penal Code Section 3005, criminal trespass requires that a person enter or remain on property without effective consent after receiving notice that entry was forbidden or after being told to leave. Public property, like a taxpayer-funded school, complicates that. You can't be criminally trespassed from public property, like a school funded by taxpayers, unless someone with actual authority, like a school administrator, first gives you a lawful and specific warning to leave. And even then, the reason has to be legitimate, causing a disruption, harassing someone, violating a policy, or interfering with school operations. Simply holding a sign that says "say no to bullying" and waiting for your child isn't unlawful or disruptive. No warning was given by school officials, and there was no valid cause, which means this officer had zero lawful grounds to demand ID or escalate this into a detainment. Rodriguez isn't enforcing the law here. He's manufacturing a violation to justify his overreach.
Sir, have you ever heard of public school? Have you ever heard of public school?
If they don't mind having you on school property, then it's not a
I
problem.
have a child here. Okay. What are they going to do? I'd love for you to kick me off this so I could sue you. Please lock me up. Do it. I would love it.
If you're here,
It would be $100,000 easy.
To your parent,
I don't, and you know what? I don't have
that's
to,
quite all right.
and I don't have to disclose any of that to you.
Okay.
I don't have to talk to you at all.
Okay.
You're lucky I even talked to you whatsoever. But you know what I wanted to do? I wanted to offer the education because you need it. And when you're out there in my community talking to people the way you are, it hurts. You ever heard of community policing?
Yes.
So do me a favor, Google public school, see who funds it, and it's my tax dollars. And then that means you don't have a right to tell people to leave.
Okay.
It's not a private building. And this is a First Amendment. It's called freedom of speech. I hope you're not a training officer. It's going to look horrible on you. Horrible. Instead of you apologizing and making this better, you just want to stand there like, oh, I'm right. And you're going to be wrong. And you're going to leave before I do. You're probably not going to apologize because I'm guessing you're not the man who will admit their mistakes and say, you know what, sir, in public.
I'm going to tell you one more time.
Mm-hmm.
What I am doing is that I'm verifying the information that you gave me.
But that this is public?
And
have you ever heard of the term public school? That's just a yes or no. Have you ever heard?
That's why I'm not going to have a conversation with you because I'm trying to interact with you and I'm trying to explain to you what I'm trying to do.
Yeah.
The legal process that I'm trying to do, contacting the supervisor.
Where'd you get your law degree from, man?
Contacting the school district employees so that we can get to the bottom of the information if you're actually allowed to be on property.
I have Dr. Brent's cell phone right here. I emailed them earlier today. Do you want to call them?
And so then we can go ahead and we can either allow you to do that and I can get back in my car and go.
It's a First Amendment.
If not, then we can go to proceed forward with.
It's the First Amendment.
And then the identification.
Do you understand?
And then the warning.
Okay. Do you understand for somebody to be trespassed, they have to be asked to leave? Do you understand that? This is a legal question. Do you understand that? I'm asking because I'm guessing you have no clue.
I think I've already tried to explain to you.
Has anybody asked me to leave? Has anybody asked me to leave?
You're being very uncooperative.
Oh my goodness. You know what? Your election of duty. You're literally going to lose your qualified immunity for this. Violating civil rights is a federal offense. All right. And you know what? I'm going to go after your license too. I guarantee you, come tomorrow, there'll be a T-close investigation starting tomorrow. And you sit there like you don't care. I'm doing nothing. I'm on public property. I was holding the sign, waiting for my child at school. And you have a problem with that? Ridiculous.
And Miss Stoner's right over there. They'll be with us in just a minute, and then we'll be able to conclude our interaction. Okay?
I know Stoner.
Thank you very much for being patient.
I know. No, but here's something else. This is important. You said I was detained. Do you know what the Supreme Court says the length of detainment should be? 10 minutes.
Okay. You're not detained anymore.
Oh, okay. Amazing.
Okay.
Had I not even said that, it would have been another federal violation for you. You should look it up.
Well,
it's 10 minutes.
I greatly appreciate it.
Oh, so I've got to ask you this. No, hold on. He detained me. I need to know what for my record. I need to know why I was detained. Come on, buddy. You just said I was breaking the law on public property. You're going to get educated for free.
This encounter is a reminder, public space is public, and asserting your rights isn't suspicious, it's your constitutional shield. Whether it's a sign, a question, or just silence, you don't owe law enforcement more than the law requires.